I'm actress comedian Shondalia White, and this is your I Can't Eat Shit Quick Tip.
It's a quick tip.
Spring is here, and it's time to break out the grill. But what if your restrictions are stopping you from enjoying traditional barbecue sauces? If you're like me, then I'm going to give you a few ways that you can still enjoy yourself. Let's get into that. If there's one thing I love and I miss, it's barbecue sauce. So when I found out I couldn't eat it, I'm like, that's just another thing to add to the list. It's frustrating. You can check out my season 1 stuff where I tell you all about the things that sizzle and why I can't eat stuff like this with the tomatoes and the peppers and all that stuff. I'll link you below. I also talked about in my cooking segment this month, there's another way to do that, how to use liquid smoke. But today, I'm going to give you a few ways that I have figured out how to really enjoy myself this spring and summer. Let's check out some of these bomb flavorful sauces that I came up with. Let's start with the mustard-based sauces. I love mustard-based sauces because it gives me that hearty feeling like I'm eating a traditional barbecue sauce, but I'm not. So when I make it myself, I'm using a Dijon-based mustard, and I like the Dijon-based because it has like a little bit of spice to it, but it's not spicy. At least the one that I get. It's not outrageously spicy. I can still handle it. But if you do that, I would say check the ingredients. Usually the one that I go for has the mustard seed, the vinegar, water, and salt, and that's it. There shouldn't be any other ingredients. If it is, then I can't eat it, and I wouldn't suggest you eat it because it'll probably inflame that stomach. If this is too much for you, the Dijon mustard, then I would suggest just doing the mustard powder, the mustard seed powder, because it's just ground up mustard seed and it can still add that heartier flavor to your meat. I use this on chicken and like beef, or I wonder, do I use it on lamb? I don't think I use it as much on lamb, but you can use it on lamb too. And I also like to add like Worcestershire sauce to these recipes. If you can do sweetener, if you can do sugar, you can also add a little bit of honey or molasses to make that honey mustard based kind of sauce. And I like that because it'll give you that sweet sour kind of feel, again, like a traditional barbecue sauce with a little weight. Next, we have the mayo-based sauces. Oh, I love this. I love it on poultry. Any sort of chicken, it's going to taste really, really good. And I like it because it keeps it like moist. It'll really give it a lot of flavor, but also kind of mellow it out. And how I do this is usually avocado-based mayo. I'm using, sometimes I will throw Worcestershire sauce in there. Mine is a vegan gluten-free one, as you know. In addition to fresh squeezed lemon juice, Himalayan salt, and you can do a fresh garlic or minced garlic or garlic powder. And the last sauce is the vinegar-based sauce. And one thing I'll say about this is I like to use vinegars as my marinade. I really, really enjoy this. I use the balsamic and or red wine vinegar. I think it goes great with any sort of meat. You can do it with poultry. You can do it with red meat. It tastes good. I've tried it on pork, beef, lamb, everything, chicken. I've done it on all of it, and it tastes really good in the marinade. I have not done a lot of just like vinegar-based sauce where it's just the vinegar and there's nothing else. But one thing I will say, if I did, I would just use an olive oil with the balsamic vinegar, add a little salt, and maybe some dry herbs with it and just brush it on. And I still think that'll help you get that sweet sour feel that you would miss in a traditional barbecue sauce, but very mild. I just love the taste that balsamic adds to things too. I really, really love it. And red wine can be really great as well. If you are someone that's really, really restricted and you can't do any of the alternatives that I have created for myself, then go ahead and just do an olive oil based sauce with some herbs, fresh herbs or dry herbs or both. And if you can't do the oil, then just cut the oil and put a lot of herbs. Herbs ain't never hurt nobody, and we know it's gonna taste really good. And that has been your quick tip. True or false? I drink water during meals to dilute my stomach acid and slow digestion.
This is a tricky one.
Check out full episodes of I Can't Eat Shit podcast wherever you stream your podcasts. You can also check me out on YouTube at Shondalia White, I Can't Eat Shit podcast. I have an RSS feed if you just want to listen, or a watch list if you want to watch me. If you watch me, there's bonus material. There's another way to do that. My full cooking segment, where I teach you how to modify recipes based on my restrictions. They're oh so good, so make sure you check them out. And for season 2, we're modifying recipes inspired by my guest. They're also doing commentary along with me, so you definitely don't want to miss that. You can also check me out on Instagram at I Can't Eat Shit Podcast or at Shondalia White. Check out my updates. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. I Can't Eat Shit.
It's a quick tip.
I Can't Eat Shit podcast is not a replacement for a medical professional. If you need help, seek out a trained medical professional, nutritionist, or therapist to help you with your specific needs.